Hey guys, how are you going? And welcome back to the channel. My name is Jamie and I am doing a series at the moment called Lockdown, How Are You Coping? Now today's interview is with Natisha. Natisha is a car saleswoman in the industry there, and we talk through the industry, how it all works, as well as her personal life, what she's up to, what she wants to do when this is all over and everything like that. So if you want to see more of these channels, please remember to subscribe. The button is just down below and you can also press the bell. That way when we upload every day at 7 o'clock, you're the first one to be there. Other than that, let's roll the interview. Starting.
Yeah. Okay, just let me know now.
Yeah, so thank you for coming and doing it.
That's right, not a problem.
So first of all, do you want to just tell me a bit about you, who you are, just kind of overall?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Natisha. I live on the Essex-Suffolk border, obviously in the UK. Right, I'm trying to think what I want to say. Who am I? Oh, feels like a pressure now, doesn't it? What an idiot. Right, yeah. So I'm Natisha. I'm 27. I live on the Essex-Suffolk border, obviously in the UK. My current day job, which I'm currently furloughed, is I work in car sales, but
Okay.
I do a little bit of everything. So it's not solely a car sales job. I kind of dip in and out of reception work, admin, kind of all sorts of things like that. And then in my part-time, I also have a YouTube channel where I review new cars.
Cool. Yes, I jumped on there quickly yesterday and had a little look. Some cool cars on there. I'm assuming that you've borrowed them from work and stuff.
Yeah, so basically I have kind of an agreement. I have an agreement with where I work. They're a prestige used car dealership. So I do a
Okay.
lot of presentation work for them. But with their cars, it's all solely done on their channel. So I do a lot of presentation over on there. Their name's Mantis Cars. So I do a lot of
Right.
stuff on their channel. But then we did have an agreement when I first started working there that I'd be solely new cars. So on my channel, I review new cars, which I really, really enjoy. And yeah, most of the cars are just kind of borrowed from local dealerships. But because I worked in sales, I've got a bit of networking around that, and I've kind of got to know people from being in sales. So yeah, I've got kind of quite a few connections within the car industry. Obviously, at the moment, that is all but stopped. So
Of course, yeah.
that's a little bit frustrating for me because I just hit my 1,000 subscribers and everything was growing really, really steadily. But yeah, I mean, I could look to do other things on my channel. I could look to review kind of like family cars, but that isn't what I wanted from the channel. And I think by dipping into something completely different from what I wanted to do, it kind of takes it away from what I was trying to build. So with
Yeah,
that,
no.
for me at the moment, it's a bit of a break.
Yeah. No, that's good. And you know what is really interesting to actually see a female selling cars, because it's not that often, and it doesn't, like, I think it's one of those jobs that you're like, oh, that's a man's job. But it shouldn't be,
Oh,
but it
yeah, no,
is.
definitely. You've got to have a thick skin as well because a male car sales is made up of banter. But you have to have a thick skin because there is jokes and there is banter, and you have to be able to take it lightly. Like if someone walks
Yeah.
in and says to me, "Oh, I didn't expect to see a girl selling me a car," I don't find that offensive. I find that a challenge. And that is
Yeah.
the kind of females that you have to work in the car industry. But that's kind of like a little bit of a goal of mine, is to kind of get more females into the car industry, because do you know what? I'll put it out there. I think we're better.
There you are. Okay, so in terms of lockdown as a overall for yourself, what are the positive things for it from you? Have you found many positives of it?
Well, actually, ironically, this time last year, I had a break from my career. So I finished working at a car sales job previously, and literally around this time last year, I took 3 months off.
Oh wow, so
So
it's like a
it
repeat.
feels really strange because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in the exact same place I was last year, like not really sure what to do with my time. But I'm lucky. I enjoy my own space. I enjoy my own company. And yeah, I quite like working. I don't like working from home. I find that really difficult. But yeah, I quite like having a little bit of time. I think it's good to refresh your brain and catch up on some things. And I think it helps you get a clearer mind as to what you want in the future.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think a lot of people are actually just taking a step back and going, I can breathe here for a minute, and maybe also thinking, is what I'm doing what I want to do? You actually have time
Yeah,
to actually analyze your life and go, maybe I should try something new, or
yeah, definitely.
hmm. So on the flip side of that, are there any negatives that you're finding with lockdown?
Obviously, the main negative for me would be the impact on my YouTube channel. And I guess, to be honest, with the industry that I work in, it's just so up in the air as to what we can be doing or what we can't be doing. I mean, it's a bit of a shame because obviously I'm now furloughed and just my company director is running the whole of our company. But there are
Yeah,
other car dealerships that are completely open, that are still doing contactless deliveries. So I think the industry that I'm working in, it's just been frustrating to know what I can and can't do. For me,
yeah,
now that obviously we're coming into what is becoming more of a softer lockdown, I'm starting to think, really, I could now benefit from going to do contactless reviews on cars and things like that. But it's just a constant battle between so many people have so many conflicting views of what they think they should be doing, especially in the car industry. Some people think they should be
yeah,
open and nothing should be changed. Others think they should be completely shut, and anyone that is open is completely ignorant and sort of against the rules, which is where my company stands. They're actually
yeah.
very do not want to be open, do not want to be shown to be open, because it's a reputation as well. Because
Of course, yeah. And I think that's an industry where it wasn't laid out. Like if you're a restaurant, you're closed. If
yeah,
you're a cinema, you're closed.
yeah,
If you're a car dealership, you kind of do what you like. It's all right, we'll work with it. That's what the government basically said in a nutshell.
yeah. It is super difficult because yeah, it's just constantly battling between wanting to do the right thing, not wanting to harm your reputation, but at the same time we need to still be making some money, because to be honest, the dealership I work for isn't a huge brand, it's a standalone dealership, and they're going to struggle through these times.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Um, yeah, it's interesting to hear someone's point of view. Like this is a very specific niche, but it's nice to actually hear someone's story from a industry that was kind of do what you like,
Yeah.
kind of. Um, so going back to like lockdown and being in this situation, what's the one thing that I suppose in anything that you miss from like the outside or the old world? Like what's the one thing or a
um
couple of
Well, there's a couple of obviously big things. One would be my dad. So obviously I miss seeing my dad. And then the second would be I obviously miss seeing my partner. I haven't seen him either in obviously around 6, 7 weeks. So they're
oh
big.
wow. So
Yeah.
you're locked down in two different locations then, are you?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's definitely something that we've obviously tried to be very strict on.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't live in each other's pockets, so it's not been too difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same with my dad. My dad's obviously in a different household as well, so that's another person I haven't seen in 6 or 7 weeks. So that's been a super difficult thing for me. And then other than that, it's just the worry of my mum. So my mum's a physiotherapist.
Right,
Um,
okay.
and she has had to all but kind of stop her usual day-to-day tasks of physio, and now she's been helping on COVID wards, helping on all different wards. So obviously there's been a constant worry about her as well.
Of course, yeah. You're always worrying that when you've got people that are dealing with people that have it every day, that nothing does go wrong, and touch wood, it doesn't. But I suppose that's the thing. I think for frontline workers, it is hard because they're not doing their normal job now. They are just literally trying to get us
Yeah,
all through this, and
I think we take for
so
I think we take for granted as well, people that aren't kind of in that industry, is my mum always felt a little bit up against the ropes because she's now in her 50s, so
mhm.
she's getting a little bit older, but she said you almost feel obliged to do these things. You don't really have to. No one's saying you have to go do a different job and you have to go treat COVID patients. But she also said you almost feel a little bit obliged to do that because it's the right thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a bit of an emotional and physical battle for her, which has been
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that completely. I think, like, they did this whole thing where they were sending out letters to people that retired to bring them back in. Like, I get why they did it, but at the same time, I think it's wrong, because if you get that, you're not told you have to, but you kind of feel like you are obliged, like you need to go and do this. And there are people that shouldn't go and do that. They should be enjoying their retirement, or, being kept safe, and they're just kind of, oh, well, I better go and do it because I've kind of been told that I should really do it.
definitely, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting to hear. So with obviously Boris did an announcement on Sunday night with the whole, and obviously more details came out. So we're on Tuesday now, yesterday, about you can meet one other person not from your household with 2 meters. And so will you potentially go and meet your boyfriend and your dad now, or will you?
It's strange. I've had this conversation with my boyfriend, and he is he likes his own space. He's a bit of a lone wolf. And we kind of had this discussion. He said it still feels wrong. I don't know. We've kind of discussed, and we've been doing okay. Like we've been kind of quite happily like spending some time apart, just FaceTiming. And we kind of had the discussion that I think I would rather see him properly, when I can see him, when I can hug him, when I can touch him, rather than kind of have a walk around kind of his local town and not touching. It still feels a little bit wrong. And I don't feel desperate. And I think really people should be thinking, right, it's not a chance of, right, I'm going to go catch up with every single person that I haven't seen in the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it more should be, if there's really someone who's struggling mentally without you, like I probably will go and see my dad for like a cup of tea in his garden 2 meters apart. But
yeah.
Because I think that will benefit him and that will lift his spirits, whereas I think I
of course.
cope without me.
No.
So that's kind of the way I'm taking it.
Yeah, I'm very much the same on that. I think, like, they basically said you can do this now, and I think it's going to open people's minds, because people are already doing more than they should be doing.
Yeah.
So this is like the next level for them to go even further. And like, if I can see someone but I don't need to see them, like, what are we going to do in a park? It's just a bit weird. Like, it's a very weird. I think they haven't worded it or put it out there in the right way. It's very weird what they've said.
I did not get that from the broadcast at all. Like I didn't know that. And then my stepdad was like, "Well, are you gonna go see Jake? Are you gonna go see your dad?" And I was like, "Well, no, I'm not supposed to." And he's like, "No, they said you can." And then I did a bit of research, and obviously it said that I can meet one other person 2 meters apart. But I watched the whole broadcast, and I didn't even get that. Like, that wasn't something.
No, neither did I. But it wasn't in the broadcast. So I actually did some research on this. So on Monday, after they set out a full 50-page guide, and it's in like page 20 or something like that. And the reason people know is because the news channels have been telling. But that broadcast was very much go home but stay out, and it was stay at home but don't go out, and it was. But I think the 50 pages is good, but I ain't got time to read 50 pages of what I can and can't do. Like, I'm a normal person. I just want to know what I'm entitled to do, and that be that. Okay, next. So what's the strangest or the weirdest thing that you've done during lockdown? Is there anything like bizarre that you wouldn't have normally done that you've kind of just gone, let's give that a go?
So I've tried to do a couple of things. So I've done this before. I've studied a couple of online courses before. I've done one in social media management. And I think I've done one in sort of like the basics of YouTube, starting off on YouTube as well. So they're things that I've done previously, and I really enjoyed them. So I thought, I've got a little bit of time, a little bit of spare time. So I've got my little certificate here. So I actually completed an online course, which is a diploma as well. So it is classed as a proper sort of like qualification.
Yeah.
So this was in affiliate marketing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I thought that's kind of like an area that I wasn't that I knew a little bit about, but I wanted to know more about, and kind of the ins and outs of affiliate marketing. It's something I'd like to eventually link back to things that I do. So I thought, why not give that a go? And I really, really enjoyed that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's good that I think people are kind of thinking, what can I do? And like being a bit more creative with that.
Definitely. do you know what? I think mentally as well, it helps so much, because even just getting up in the morning, and it's then they're not completely very lengthy courses. I'd say each module that you do takes probably a couple of hours. But if I got up in the morning, I read through a module, I completed a module, you feel like you've achieved something. Like if I then went and binge watched Friends for the next 8 hours, I feel like I've achieved something, because in the morning I did a module, and I think just mentally it makes you feel a lot more positive.
Yeah, see, I'm the same. So, obviously they closed the restaurants on that Friday. I got fired from my job the following day on the Saturday. I'm a restaurant manager, so it wasn't ideal. And the first 2 weeks I laid around and I did nothing, and I just was like feeling sorry for myself, and I was like, this is not good. And I've been doing YouTube for like 4 years, but always on and off, never really consistent. And I thought, let's just throw everything into this.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing like getting up in the morning, doing 2 or 3 hours, like filming, editing, and you feel so much better, like just having that meaning, something, the meaningfulness in your life. I really agree with that.
Definitely.
Okay, so once this is all over and we go, I suppose, back to like the new normal, or what the future holds, in like a world where we can see each other again, we can touch each other, what's the first thing you're going to do? I think you've already touched on this in a way, but I'll ask anyway.
The first thing I'll do when I can actually see people and actually interact with people, the first thing I'll do is go and see my boyfriend. So yeah, that'll be the first thing, and then just friends and family as well. My nan, she's kind of been on her own, so possibly go and see her. But I think even once everything's lifted, it'll still be with caution. But yeah, definitely just catch up with the people that I love.
Oh, good. That's such a nice answer. I think we're all missing family at the moment. Like, it's a thing, but I think, like as we said earlier, this digital thing is not the easiest thing to do. But I think I'm actually doing it more. Like, I'm speaking to people more than I would normally, if that makes sense, because of.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you doing the same in terms of like weird like quiz nights and like with friends and family and stuff?
Yeah, so we've been quiz nighting with my friends and family. We've also, what else we've been, to be fair, everyone's been quite social, just been having like nights in with the girls with some drinks. And obviously FaceTiming different people, and also trying to teach my nan to FaceTime as well, so that's been interesting.
Oh, that's fun. Has she got there?
Yeah, she has. She has to always hold it up. Every now and again she'll hold it up to her ear because she can't hear what we're saying, but bless her, she's got the hang of it now. So
but still, if she's on the call, that's all that matters, right?
But yeah, you're right. Like it's making an extra effort to obviously make sure that everybody's coping, and just being there for them, really.
Perfect. And one final question then. So what will you miss from lockdown? Like, what's the one thing that you're going to actually miss not having to be able to do, like, without, I suppose, just going back to normal?
I would say, like, the absolute obvious, but just having time. So I work 6 days a week. So I work every day but Sunday. And then on Sundays, I will usually almost always be reviewing a car. So I almost work 7 days a week. And I work 9 to 5. My job's quite full on. Like, I go home and I have to think about job. Like, sales is always like that. You go home, you have to think about it as well. So I'm just going to miss time. Like, obviously I've had time to do the online courses. I've been like, I'm quite a artistic person. So I've been kind of doing some tie-dye, like a little side business with that. So yeah, like, I'm just going to miss the time to be able to be creative. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I want to go back to being busy, but I guess just having a bit of time to just do things that I enjoy.
Yeah. No, I think that's the same for me. Like, it's very much, I'm enjoying this, but I think, like, I spend 8-10 hours a day sometimes doing YouTube, and like I just keep getting into it, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm writing stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to have to think, oh, I have to go to work now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the channel, having a chat, and just letting me know more about your lockdown story and what it's been like. Do you want to just let everyone know the name of your channel and stuff before you go? And I'll put all the links and stuff below, so if they are interested in looking at some car reviews, they can pop over and have a look.
Yeah, definitely, that'd be amazing. So it's also Social UK, and then so that's my channel where I review new cars.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on this call and speaking to me today.
Me.
And have a lovely day and keep safe during the rest of this lockdown.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye. Well, that was Natisha's story. I really hope you enjoyed that and that take on it. She's doing some really interesting things there, from tie-dyeing to doing online courses, and I think it's important that we are doing these creative things. And she clearly has, taken the positives out of this, and I think that's really, really important. And it's nice of her to share that with us. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave comments down below if this and any of this relates to you in any way whatsoever, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, pressing that bell. But yeah, that's it. I'll leave all of the links down below as well as at the end of the video. So if you do want to go over and check Natisha's channel out, you can do. Other than that, I'm going to say bye-bye, and I'll see you tomorrow for another lockdown story.